absolute genius, suspending what has to be 10 projects just to talk about this thing right here. I was online the minute this dropped. I was just scrolling casually when I saw this artist make a tweet that said something along the lines of, "What? It's animated?" And I'm just like, bro, what are you talking about? And then I scroll down further and there it is. Hit me like a goddamn truck, and for 6 hours straight, I became the most annoying person on the planet. For those who are wondering who these guys are and why I'm talking about them, here's some quick context. In honor of Precure's 20th anniversary celebration, father of Precure Takashi Washio greenlit an all-boys stage play, Dancing Star Precure The Stage, or Boku Pri, aimed at older fans of the show. Personally, I thought it was a prank when I first saw it, only to later find out that it was very, very real. So I actually learned about it this year, but the announcement was apparently met with mixed reviews and discourse that blew up to an unreasonable degree. Despite this, the play proved to be successful, which led to the eventual announcement and production of the sequels. Now, Boku Pri stayed off my radar for a while due to accessibility issues and lack of subs. It wasn't until late November that I saw Coop Pancake publish the first AO3 fic of the show that I went, fine, and sat my ass down to watch the show. And I haven't been the same since. I love Boku Pri. I found the story interesting, the tone fun, and the birth of some of my favorite characters in not only this franchise, but of all time. I have to give a shout out to Coop Pancake if you are watching this video. Thank you for giving me the motivation to ruin my own life. Even with the canon inaccuracies, my favorite fic of yours is Silky. Now, I've been following the stage social media religiously since the beginning of this year, so I feel the need to put into perspective as to how insane this announcement is. It was always assumed that Kimi Pri and Boku Pri would collaborate due to the release date of each show and the similar themes of the two series. However, it was clear that it would be complicated as Boku Pri's parent company isn't Toei Animation, but Marvelous Incorporated, which is the company that distributes Precure's music. Boku Pri was referenced in the anime in 2024, but it was super subtle and not noticed by many. However, because Kimi Pri has character songs play every single episode, Marvelous arguably has more involvement with the season than any other season prior. So a collaboration was really a matter of if and when. Now, both companies have been pretty good at keeping future information under wraps in recent years, making leaks increasingly harder to come by. While Zakun and Kiss's designs were not revealed until a day before episode 17, fans still knew of their existence 4 months before their debut through toy hacking and merchandise listings. So if something was going to happen, there was a chance that we would find out in advance. However, through many promotions and campaigns for the stage show, absolutely no indication was given that a collaboration was going to occur. On August 16th, it was announced that Kimi Pri would have a post-show performance with the cast on December 7th, but still no indication of an animated appearance. I personally assume that because December 7th is a Sunday, then Boku Pri would make a cameo on that day, but absolutely no news was made on it whatsoever. Then on October 24th, the stage social released Gaku's solo video with the caption, "Please look forward to the next video," with a music note and bow emoji. And literally nobody knew what this meant. The characters do have their own associated emojis, but none of them were represented with a bow. And the team was previously represented through colored hearts, so what is the bow for? Turns out it was this. I was expecting the Kigurumi, but this is both jarring and silly to look at. What the fuck? And literally at the exact same time this was released, so was the cameo announcement. Because it was a November... Sorry, I need to calm down. Because it was a November episode, information was not available prior. So basically what I'm trying to say is everyone is freaking out right now because literally nobody knew this was going to happen. they managed to keep this under lock and key and give us a surprise of the decade. Unfortunately, because of this, some people decided it would be cute to recycle some of the discourse from 2023, and as tempting as it is for me to go ahead and debunk the claims, I really don't want to waste my time doing so in a video that's supposed to be discussing something I'm excited for. So I'm just going to say this. You do not have to like Boku Pri. No one is under any obligation to like Boku Pri. But acting like a show that is now 2 years old is going to negatively affect a franchise that is now 21 years old is completely nonsensical and extremely disrespectful to everyone involved with its production. We did not need this negativity back then, and we do not need it now. If you're not willing to discuss this series with an open mind, then you probably shouldn't discuss it at all. Now, I am fully aware that a lot of you have not watched Boku Pri and are curious as to whether or not you need to before episode 39 airs. For obvious reasons, I have not watched the episode, but I have seen the way Precure handles crossover episodes before, and I have watched both Boku Pri shows, so I can say this with full confidence. No. There really isn't a need to watch a 5-hour story to get context on characters that are probably at most going to get 10 minutes of screen time. It might help for understanding the functioning of their powers and the relationships they have with each other, but really you should be able to watch episode 39 with no problem. Boku Pri is making a cameo appearance for promotional and fan service reasons. And unless I'm right about December 7th, the likeliness of Boku Pri showing up in the show again is very low. By all means, if you find yourself getting interested in the show either before or after the episode airs, feel free to watch it, but don't feel like you have an obligation to do so. I do want more people to watch Boku Pri, but I want them to watch it because they want to watch it, not because I want them to. If you don't watch Boku Pri before episode 39, all you need to know is that Dancing Star Precure consists of a competitive high school dance team that all favor their own genre of dance. They fight with music called the Rhythm of Light, which is powered by hope. Their fairy friend is Patadu, who comes and goes as he pleases and is nicknamed Pato by the team. Their dynamic may make it seem like their relationships are complicated, but in truth, they are friends who respect and care for each other. I have really high doubts that this episode will tie heavily into plot, so I wouldn't be too concerned about that. And for those who have the opposite problem, watching Boku Pri but never watching Kimipre and wondering if you need to watch all 38 episodes ahead of time, my answer is also no. If you only care about Boku Pri, I think it's fine if you skip ahead to episode 39. You'll probably be a little bit confused, but you should still be able to enjoy the episode regardless. And I say this because I did the same thing with Raiga Terasaka and Gozyuger. I survived, so will you. Now, the main reason I'm making this video is to hold my own announcement. I have made the decision to live react to this episode. Now, I can't watch Precure episodes until about 3 to 10 hours after airing, so don't expect it to be released too quickly. But I realize I already have a lot to say with the information that we currently have available, and I don't want my reaction video to be too long, so I'm going to say all of my early thoughts now, and then I will condense these for the actual reaction. First things first, and this is really exciting, the stage cast is reprising their roles for the anime. I'm really happy about this because I've become accustomed to their voices and would probably cringe if they sounded any different. But I'm really excited for Shinichi Wago as Patadu. Wago does an absolutely amazing job as Patadu and has shown to greatly enjoy playing him, so I cannot wait to hear his voice in the anime. What's also pretty exciting is that, if I'm not mistaken, this is actually the voice acting debut of Shogo Tamura, Toya Morita, Iori Kotsuji, and Wago. It is just slightly worrying because stage acting and voice acting require different skill sets, but Daisuke Sakuma is doing a pretty good job as Kaido, so I'm sure it'll be okay. It really doesn't change how cool it is that the actors get to do this at all. Second, the character sheets. Toshie Kawamura was hired once again to design for the anime, and because she's designed the stage play, it translated pretty well. Now, I instantly noticed a drop in quality, but that has more to do with the fact that designing for a stage and designing for television is not the same thing. Different things were kept in mind when these were designed, and obviously art made for promotional reasons is going to look a lot more polished than an anime character sheet. With that in mind, here is everything I noticed. They're wearing the Stella braces! They almost never wear them in promotion, which is why I feel the need to point it out. They felt a lot smaller to me, but apparently I'm an idiot because when I looked back, they were the same size, so what do I know? Kagura and Break have their beauty marks. It's a minor detail, but one I appreciate. All of the characters have a hair gradient where their hair is lighter at the top and gets darker at the bottom. I'm not sure about other seasons, but in terms of this one, this effect is exclusive to Dancing Star. Though I'm not the biggest fan of the hair lighting, as the promotional art was clearly reflecting that of the earlier seasons, and I know that they can replicate it because they've done it before, but honestly, it was just a personal preference. Their accessories are oversimplified. All of the triangles blend into each other along with Top and Soul's chain. Soul's shirt design was also simplified, though to be fair, that was a necessary change, and he's missing the 4 triangle chains on his cape. Also, for some reason, Break's hood is more transparent. Very, 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 very minor things on the character sheets that are bothering me. There are tangents at Break's neckline, which makes his neck look a lot thicker than it should be. Locke's face is bothering me. I think it's because the irises aren't touching his eye line, so he looks like he's on crack. And Pato looks bottom heavy. I was trying to figure out why I was seeing him this way, and I realized that it's because his character creation sheet has his legs coming out of the sides of his body instead of the bottom. The change was probably made to reflect the mascots from the anime. I will give them the benefit of the doubt, though. He looks a lot more like his plush now. There are also a few minor details that got lost in translation during costuming, but came back for the show. Top's neck keyhole is really hard to see in his costume, but is more visible in the anime. Kagura's tassel cuff was originally silver, made gold for the stage, and back to silver for the anime. And Break's gloves are much shorter, which you can't tell in the stage costume. The last thing I wanted to talk about bleeds into the animation, and that's hair. The hair is very clearly based on the original designs by Kawamura, but they got slight adjustments for the stage play, and it's very noticeable to me because I have become too accustomed to the wigs. Kagura's hair was originally designed to go to the knees and finalized to go to the ankles, but the wig was shortened to go to his hips, most likely to prevent damage. It looks like the anime tried to find a balance by having it go slightly below the hips instead. It sometimes looks a lot thinner than I'd personally prefer, but that's just the way it was originally intended to look, so I don't want to be too hard. Soul's hair is pretty well done, but the look changes a bit in the preview. Now, Soul's bangs were originally designed to go down, but as time went on, they started curving out, and the look sort of stuck. His character sheet seems to have found a balance with both, but the preview loses it a bit and makes his bangs look spiky in comparison. Locke is the one I have the most problems with. His hair is also based off of his character creation, and by all means it is accurate. But the wig they made created this very unique shape with curves that add to the spikes in his hair. And I get it. I've drawn Locke's hair before. It's not fun. But the look of the wig is so distinct that I wish there was at least an attempt to replicate it. Speaking of animation, from what we've seen so far, the quality control is okay. I'm gonna go with okay. These aren't visuals we're going to see every episode, so the quality does not need to be sublime. I've noticed some things that are more common in lower budget transformations where certain parts of the character have inconsistencies, such as Top's hair and Soul's garters. Their eyes look fine up close, if not with really thin eyelashes, but not so good from a distance. And for the team pose, they decided to cut the legs, which I literally don't know why. The DVDs and promotional image show the full bodies, so why would you cut the legs? Especially if two of your characters are on the floor. Along with that, I'm really not the biggest fan of how much below the knee we see for the cuts, and it just makes me question the decision more. Also, Kagura is noticeably taller than Sol in this clip, even though it's literally a fact that Sol is the tallest member of the team, and it is actively distracting me that they made such a mistake considering all the other teammates are fine! The clip is also slightly disappointing to me because it looks like it's the team call, and they cheated it with a flash-in. In the show, you actually see them move into their pose like every other Precure team, but they don't even give us that. And I get it, it's slower budget, but I still would have liked to see them move in their pose instead. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt though. The looser parts of the outfits move in the pose, except for Break's hood. So I do know that they at least tried. There is still a chance that the clip we see is actually their catchphrase, as the cut in the trailer is very abrupt, but based on their poses, it feels like a team call.
Dancing Star Precure!
But only time will tell. Despite everything I just said, the team pose looks really good. The star in the back and the colored spotlights are a homage to the stage show. The 5 colored stars around them shows their individuality and reflects the roll call, and the music symbols and mini stars in the back reflect their powers. It looks really good, all things considered. I think that's everything I have to say on the visual side. Some negative, some positive, but it is a TV episode, so that's to be expected. I do have a lot of expectations for the episode itself. Hell, I have a whole wish list. But again, the characters are probably not going to get more than 10 minutes of screen time. So I'm just going to list off the things that I am assuming are going to happen from least likely to most likely. Also, I'm going to start using the Boku Pri civilian name, so if you're unfamiliar, here you go. Number 10, old man joke. There is a running joke in Boku Pri where Pato is recognized as an old man and he gets really angry when it happens. There is a chance of it happening again, but I think it's least likely because Pato's human form is designed like an animator's nightmare. Number 9, Dancing Star Cup is not related to Dancing Star Precure. I'm hoping that they'll lampshade it as a coincidence instead of making it related. See, Dancing Star is a term coined by Gaku and was later adopted by the team, so it would be retconning to have them be related. However, knowing this show, they might end up saying that he was inspired by the competition that's hosted in a town he doesn't live in. Sure. Number 8, full roll call. I think the stage roll call is about 30 seconds long, so they could very much do it if they wanted to, but I'm not so sure that they will, as this is a promotion and Sol and Break actually switch places based on whether or not it is a show or promotion. And if that sounds confusing, you don't know the half of it. Number 7, Kiraboshi will perform. Now, this is hard to say because Kiraboshi is a high school club and Sunda is a middle school student, so the likeliness of them participating in a competition with a different age group is low. But because this is partially done for promotional reasons and Marvelous is involved, there is a chance. Based on the composition, I feel like the songs they will dance to will most likely be Believe My Step or We Are Dancing Star. Stepping up is least likely, but still a possibility. Number 6, civilian forms. This is lower because we haven't seen character sheets for civilian forms, but it's not impossible. I'm assuming it'll either be the school uniforms or club wear. There is also a chance of us getting casual wear, which I'd pay good money to see. Number 5, Sunda gets encouraged by Kiraboshi. The plot of this episode seems to be that Sunda wants to participate in the Dancing Star Cup, but his spins are too violent and he needs help. Now, Boku Pri is canonically made up of the best dancers in their school club, so they could give him encouragement. Sasuna and Koga serve as instructors, and Haya Maido is a very technical person, so they could all help. But I feel like the ones most likely to give advice are Gaku and Maido due to their genres. Gaku is a hip-hop dancer who incorporates whatever he thinks is cool into his routine, and Maido is a very talented break dancer, so they could help him with his spins. Gaku is a lot more social than Maido though, so he's more likely to help out. Number 4, Sunda or Kokoro recognize Kiraboshi, or vice versa. Kiraboshi is actually a pretty famous competition team, and Sunda and Kokoro have been dancing for years, so there is a chance that they will recognize the dance club when they appear. There is also a chance of Kiraboshi recognizing Sunda or Kokoro, as some of the members have been dancing since middle school or longer. It'll most likely be Maido, as he is the youngest member. Number 3, Soul throws disco balls. This is more of a desire than an expectation. Because Soul is a soul dancer, his power tends to be shown through disco imagery. I want to see him throw one so badly. Number 2, at least 2 attacks. There are currently 15 attacks in Boku Pri, so there is no way we are going to see all of them, but I do think we will see at least 2. My predictions are Groovy Cyclone, which is a trio attack among Top, Lock, and Break, and as much as I'd like it to be Funky Chicken Carnival, I think it's more likely to be one of Top's attacks. I don't think we'll see Cosmic Star Beat, as it is currently reserved for the generals. Number 1, Kiraboshi are guest at the Dancing Star Cup. This is the only explanation I can come up with as to why they are in Hanamichi. I refuse to believe Boku Pri takes place in Hanamichi. Kiraboshi is a well-renowned dance club, so it makes sense for them to represent their school as guests in a middle school dance competition. I just don't see why they would be competitors with the context that we have. Other things I would like to see are an animated collaboration of Lulala with You and Top doing a fan service lesson with Idol, but that depends on whether or not they decide to make 3D models of the characters. Last thing, some people are wondering if this is a pilot for a full-length animated series, but I highly doubt that's going to occur. Precure always tries to keep their casting faithful, and the actors tend to be busy all year long, so I don't think they will commit to that. But also, the age demographic for the anime is 3 to 12-year-olds, and Boku Pri is aimed at older audiences. The ticketing website actually has a policy that no one underage can attend the show unless accompanied by an adult. Toei also hasn't shown too great of a commitment to magical boys in the anime either, so I don't really see why they would go forward with that. There are some that believe it'll be a late night program similar to that of Otana and Mirai Days, but Boku Pri is currently the length of both shows and it's still not over. Plus, both shows have a much lower budget and are frankly not that good, so it'll be a massive commitment to make an anime of Boku Pri, and I have not seen any signs of that whatsoever. But even if this is the only time they'll be able to do this, I'm really happy that it's happening at all. With there being word of the 3rd show being the last show, the fandom started entering a mass depression that was only going to get worse due to how much time there was until the 3rd show. And honestly, I'm still in very deep denial about it. So this was a very, very, very pleasant surprise. We needed this. I'm very happy and excited regardless of what comes next. That's all I have to say for now. Feel free to leave your thoughts down below. I may or may not fill the gap while we wait for my reaction. And now that I say that out loud, it's probably not going to happen. Oh well, but for certain, I will see you all in 2 weeks. Until then.